What's good, everybody? It's me, That We Pure, back with the greatest what if I have ever produced on my channel. You guys have been begging me to make this video for almost years now, and that's longer than I've even had my channel for or been making what ifs for. And that is, what if Naruto had drip release? Now, you guys obviously know what this what if is going to be all about, and obviously you've been begging me in the comments for years now, and just I can see that everyone has been looking forward to it, and I've finally come out with the Fountain of Youth, the greatest what I've created of all time. And that is now, we'll begin into the story itself of how Naruto has risen to above the strongest of characters, even rising to the levels of Drip Goku, with the true Naruto timeline, even the original story, one could say, that Kishimoto had wrote, What If Naruto Had Drip Release, aka the original story of Naruto Drip. So, let's get into it. The moment Naruto be born, a wave of chakra would come crashing over the entire shinobi world, the entire Naruto world, as this original work of Masashi Kishimoto is much different than what he would eventually come to change it to later on. As Naruto is born, Naruto would come walking out as he lands to the ground. He would be born completely covered in head to toe with Gucci, Nike, Supreme, the highest levels of drip. Naruto and Kushina be shocked to say the least as Naruto flips down his Ray-Bans. He would say his first words uttering them.
Smells like pour in here.
Naruto and Kushina be aghast, perturbed at the monster they've created, his chakra, his drip being so powerful. Obito would be frozen in fear as he would be afraid of this baby roasting him with his yee-ass haircut and ugly-ass face. With now Obito being shocked, Naruto could though still sense his poor energy, as Naruto would lower his glasses, his shades as you would say, his eyes locking in with that of Obito. Obito would then hear one single word. He could swear as he uttered it, that his soul left his body.
Drip.
When Naruto would release his drip, Obito's soul would have been pushed out of his body, harvested by Naruto, the new god of drip. Naruto would leave Kushina and Minato behind as he says he's heading home. As he goes back to the house using his omnipotent knowledge, he'd be disgusted, thinking the 4th Hokage is living here in such a dump? Of course. Naruto would then use his drip release. Unlocking his powers, he would create the hand seal, touching the house, blessing of his presence. As Naruto would use his drip release on the house, it would begin to morph and change, absorbing the pure energy of Naruto's drip, as the house itself would then become a bougie mansion. Naruto would then open the door before sitting down on his luxury couch.
That's what I've been waiting for.
Naruto would be relaxing. Vibing, one could say, in fact, as he would now chill at home. Minato and Kushina would eventually return back to the house, where they'd be shocked seeing their huge mansion that had been constructed by their son. As Naruto had been born, the villagers would be rejoicing and cheer for the new drip god, with the last having been the god of shinobi known as Hashirama Supreme, the creator of Supreme himself, the god of drip before Naruto. Naruto would exit his mansion, walking along the city streets, as he would say, Drip. All whose ears would be blessed by his presence would suddenly be clad in clothing such as Supreme, Gucci, Nike, Adidas, only the purest of high-level drip, with the entire Leaf Village rejoicing at his birth, now the new god of drip, and soon to become the god of this new world. Naruto would return to his mansion, and for the next few years, everything would seem at ease. That is, until Naruto had turned the age of 5. He would then tell his father to step down from the position of Hokage, saying that he himself will take the position to fix this ugly-ass village, as he would tell his father. Minato would be too scared of Naruto's drip, knowing that he's so much more powerful than him, that he would make a great Hokage. Minato would agree to step down as he nominates his son to become the next Hokage, and that would be how the youngest Hokage ever, Naruto Uzumaki, would come to be. At the age of 7, Naruto's stone statue would have been configured into the mountainside, now his headband having Supreme on it. as Naruto would at this point have constructed several new businesses, and the economy in the Leaf Village would have just risen, as every corner would have Gucci, Supreme, Nike, Adidas, and Louis Vuitton. Everyone would be covered from head to toe in drip. However, the Uchiha clan would not be fond of Naruto Uzumaki, the current 5th Hokage, thinking that his ideals, his drip, were too strong, and that it undermined the original premise of the village, making it so that they themselves, the Leaf Police Force, felt useless, with everyone bowing to Naruto equally. And so the Uchiha would then decide to plan a coup d'etat, as they would decide to take over the village themselves and kill this drip monster. A few weeks before that, though, we would see Sasuke and Naruto both outside, as Naruto would be heading to the training grounds to practice learning his new Supreme Kunai. His, of course, only on-brand kunai, since he can't be caught wearing anything besides the finest of threads. As Sasuke would be watching in shock and awe, seeing Naruto's perfect precision with his kunai, Sasuke would walk closer, attempting to communicate and ask the Hokage about what he was doing. And Sasuke, to his hubris, would step on Naruto's shoe, skidding it accidentally. Sasuke would be in shock, prepared to bow to the ground, as Naruto would turn around in anger, his benevolence having been spat on by Sasuke. "I've honored you, villagers of drip, that you could never dream of. My drip release is the savior of this village. How dare you scuff my beautiful brand new white Yeezys." As Naruto now is disgusted at Sasuke, Itachi would see this from afar, as Naruto is about to release his drip release. He would then say it, "Drip." Just in time, Itachi would jump in front of the way, taking the full impact of the blast. Sasuke would watch in horror as his big brother would die on impact, with Itachi's final words being to Sasuke to run. Sasuke would, and Naruto wouldn't bother chasing after him, not wanting to get his new clothes sweaty, as he would use his drip release to fix his Yeezys. He would look down and discuss his spats on Itachi, taking away his drip. As Itachi dies, Sasuke would have awakened his Sharingan and Mangekyo Sharingan, having risen to the next level of Uchiha. And this would have been the cause of the coup d'etat. "This cannot stand," Fugaku would say. "Even though he had blessed us with such fine threads, such drip, he has taken our eldest son from us, our prized Itachi. We must fight back." And so the Uchiha would then plan their attack against Naruto Uzumaki, the Drip King. And thus, the attack on the village would begin. Naruto would slaughter them like animals, using his drip power to completely eviscerate the Uchiha clan, with Sasuke being the last standing. To honor their bravery against him, Naruto would create the Supreme Gun, an eye, of course, on brand of Supreme, that would give him power greater than any dojutsu ever seen, making the Sage 6 Pass Rinnegan look like trash in comparison. To save all the lives, Naruto would have used his drip release to summon thousands of mannequins covered in head to toe with the finest of clothing, the finest of Gucci, Supreme, Louis Vuitton, and the clothing would give them power, as Naruto would use the mannequins to slaughter the Uchiha clan. Naruto would have ended Sasuke himself, as he would say one word to him, looking down at him like an ant in the dirt. "Drip." As Sasuke takes the full blunt of the force from the Supreme Gun, Naruto, using his drip push, would have sent Sasuke flying, killing him on impact, as their souls had been reaped by the drip god, Naruto Uzumaki. Naruto himself would find no need to go to the academy or be trained by the Anbu. He was far too powerful already with just his pure level of chakra and drip, especially drip, and thus he had mastered the technique of drip walking at such a young age. It was impressive. In fact, instead of using chakra, he could walk on water simply out of water fearing him, with Naruto's drip making the water forced to bow beneath him, bending to his will, causing Naruto to be able to walk on water, trees, even float in the air, as the world itself seemed to bend for Naruto in order to appease his drip. But not all would see this the same way, as the Leaf Village would have called on the legendary Sannin, including Orochimaru, who, having sensed the threat of the new Drip King, would have returned to the village to offer his assistance, though temporarily. As we see Jiraiya, Tsunade, the third Hokage, as well as Orochimaru back together, they would all begin brainstorming on how possibly could they defeat this legendary Drip Master. With his chakra levels and his power being so high, they only had one idea. Killer Bee from the Cloud Village. Minato would call in some favors as he talks to the Raikage, saying what he needs, explaining about his son's condition. As they would agree, saying that they need to take down this drip monster, his drippiness being too strong before it can get any stronger. And so Killer Bee would then be sent to the village, where he'd be explained to by Minato, Kushina, and also the top higher-ups of the Leaf on how he needs to weaken Naruto by roasting him into submission. Bee would gulp, saying he'll try his best, but if he can't put Naruto to rest, then neither can the best. And they'd gulp, hearing his actual opinion on it, as Bee would then walk into the Hokage's office, where Naruto would be sitting in his throne, looking at Vogue magazines and only the newest of clothing and fashion design in the world. Bee would then point his finger towards Naruto, asking, "Are you Naruto Uzumaki?" Naruto would turn around, flipping and putting his magazine down before flicking his Ray-Bans down, asking, "Maybe I am. Who are you, with those ugly-ass looking shoes there, boy?" The battle's already begun, Bee would think, with him now having to put his 100% effort into this. "Those shades look tacky, yo-yo, like you grabbed them off the clearance shelf. Why not take a look in the mirror and go and check yourself," Bee would say. Naruto would laugh, saying that if he thinks that your clout can match to my drip, you're wrong, SoundCloud rapper looking ass. As Bee would be shocked, falling to the ground, his drippiness, his absolute power would overwhelm Bee, as Bee would tap into the Eight-Tails chakra out of fear. He would then use his tentacles as he begins roasting Naruto of all he's got. Naruto wouldn't even flinch as Bee makes fun of the whiskers on his face, with Naruto saying that's new fashion taste. Bee would be out of the loop, he would say, as Bee would fall down, having nothing left to say. Naruto, activating his Supreme Gun, would look into Bee's eyes, as he would then take his soul from his body, having won the battle. Everyone who had been waiting in order to seal Naruto would be shocked, with Naruto returning back to his desk and returning to his magazine, having seen Bee been defeated so easily, one of the highest clout shinobi from the Cloud Village. There was no way. The Raikage would be enraged, as he would go storming into the office ready to challenge Naruto. Naruto would easily be able to defeat the Raikage, roasting him into submission, asking when the last time he had taken a look in the mirror was. I would have fallen to the ground too, as this would spark a war between the Leaf Village as well as the Cloud Village. Naruto had been getting a bit bored after all, and so maybe a little war couldn't be too bad, to flex his power and flex his absolute drip on the other villages. Naruto would then thus begin the five-way war between all five great nations against the Leaf Village, in what would be now known as the Drip Wars, the Fourth Great Shinobi War, as Naruto himself would enter the battle. Naruto would be slaughtering entire villages by himself, by gifting drip to them. Many of the shinobi would switch sides, instead choosing to have the fine threads that Naruto would be offering them, and so they would turn traitor, going to the Leaf Village's side. Minato could do nothing, as he and Kushina would then be sent off into battle. The Yellow Flash, having been reinstated into the war, would have secured victory for the Leaf Village along with Naruto, the Drip King. After securing and defeating all of the other villages, now having fallen under Naruto's control, he'd begin to establish his own empire, his own clothing line, the newest of Drip, creating a new sandal company called Uzukrakis, where he sells the finest of Crocs. Naruto would say that you can wear them in winter, summer, spring, fall, all with the Uzumaki symbol on them, representing that you're one of his Drip gang. As Naruto had now become the king of Drip, many years would pass, and now Naruto was now pretty much the ruler of the entire world, as the Drip King. Naruto would have had already defeated the Akatsuki and any other threats that would have opposed him, using his ultimate Drip Jutsu. Naruto at this point would have many side hoes, including Hinata, Inu, Sakura, and pretty much any girl he would want. With Naruto at this point now having attained everything he could hope for, having established his new empire as the Drip God he was born to be. With no threats remaining, the Otsutsuki would have felt this great power on Earth, and would have begun their descent to the planet. But it would take them many years to get there, and so by the time they would arrive, Naruto would already have attained so much drip energy they wouldn't be a threat. The Otsutsuki King would be the only one with enough drip power to take Naruto on, and by that point, it won't be worth it anymore. And so the Otsutsuki would claim this planet as being uninhabitable, with even though it being streaming full of chakra, that drippy chakra being poisonous to the Otsutsuki, being able to completely roast and overpower them, and make their fashion sense seem worthless, and so they would leave the planet alone. Naruto wouldn't be satisfied though, as Naruto would be bored for many years, having already established his now newfound kingdom. Many years later, Naruto would be an adult now, as the entire world has now fallen under Naruto's control, as I mentioned beforehand, when suddenly, something new would appear, as a rip in time would seem to open up, as we see a man with white hair and pale blue skin carrying a staff walking through the entrance with a purple cat walking in next to him, asking what this is all about as he yawns. Suddenly, Naruto would be shocked as he feels a gasp. This power! He would turn around as we would see Drip Goku entering this universe. So this is universe 420, huh? Goku would say as he's looking around. It doesn't seem that strong though, Goku would say as he folds his hands over his supreme jacket. His pure amount of flex sending Naruto into shock, almost giving him a stroke. Naruto would telepathically communicate with his mannequins, evacuating safely everyone out of the Leaf Village as Naruto was prepared to fight this monster. Another drip user, Naruto would say. Where did he come from though? He isn't from this planet, or I would have sensed him when I was taking control of it, Naruto would say. Look down there, Goku, Whis would say. As Drip Goku would look down, narrowing his eyes, he would see Naruto. Oh, the one with the puny drip, Whis? Whis would nod, saying that compared to Goku, of course, he had almost no drip, but we'll see that soon enough. Goku would fall to the ground as Naruto would be shaking, asking what he's there for, as Naruto's preparing to power up. Naruto would be watching as Goku would then begin to explain to him his drip forms. What you see now is just my drip base, using the lowest level of my drip. And this is a Super Saiyan who has enhanced themselves with drip. Goku would act as Super Saiyan as his hair goes golden, his eyes going green, matching his now beautifully and completely superb supreme outfit. He would be shocked as Naruto had never seen such fashion sense. His drippiness was off the charts. Goku would be watching Naruto, uninterested, as Naruto would try and activate Supreme Gun to scan him. Naruto's right eye would go blind, as he'd be shocked seeing the amount of drip energy coursing through Goku. He could feel his raw power surging. Goku would then say, when you've ascended to become a drip god, a true drip god, then you become this. As Goku's hair began to turn red and blue, as he accesses Super Saiyan God Drip Super Saiyan. By completely accessing this drippy mode, shades would fall down Goku's face, as Goku's muscles are flexed out to their maximum point. His flex is too strong, Naruto would be thinking, as Drip Goku would be easily overpowering Naruto's presence. Goku would then show him, and this is Ultra Dripstinct. As he accesses it, Naruto would fall to the ground on his knees, begging and praying for Goku to leave him, his drip energy being nowhere near in comparison. Goku would simply walk forward, floating through the air as his Yeezys should not dare be touched by a speck of dirt on the ground. As with Ultra Dripstinct, he'd be in silence, as he holds his hand over Naruto before saying, Drip, as the entire world would be engulfed by a light. We see Masashi Kishimoto ripping his head from the desk, as he had just had a very bad dream. What was that, he'd be thinking? He'd gotten way too wasted as he looks down, seeing the manuscript he had written while he was drunk. This is horrible! He would throw it out immediately, wondering where he even got that last part from, as he would then decide to start writing the actual pilot episode for what would be the Chapter 1 of Naruto. The Naruto that we know well today. I know you guys have been waiting for this for a long time for me to make this What If, and I know it's been something you've been begging me for in the comments for over a year now, and that's alright, so I'm glad that I made this part for you guys. I know you really wanted it, and I'm so glad you enjoyed it. Unfortunately, there isn't enough material to make a part 2 since Masashi Kishimoto had written this as his original episode, of course, but, you know, with it being so overpowered and not really fitting the shonen genre as well, he had decided to throw it out, so this is all I could get on manuscript-wise. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to hit the like button, comment down below what you thought, and subscribe to my channel for more videos from me, and I'll see all of you in the next one. Goodbye.